Hey there, Taurus. It's Jen here from tarotspirit.net. I am here doing your November 2018 tarot reading. Thanks for joining me. Okay. So, what I'm getting sort of right off is that there is some sort of situation that's really been stressing you out, uh, where you've had to stick up for yourself, which I feel like was pretty uncomfortable for you, and causing you a lot of sleepless nights and worry and stress, where had been put in a difficult situation. But you were right. You are in the right. You did not do anything wrong, but you maybe stepped on someone's toes with more power, or a stronger ego, which to me means, I realize those people who are like bullies and very pushy and push back and try to get their own way. Like they're just, it comes from insecurity. Like, I don't know. I'm not explaining it right, but I'm sure you guys understand what I'm saying. And so, maybe at work there's certain policies and someone is trying to get you to do what they want when it goes against the regulations, and you're like, hey, I can't do that. I'll get fired. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and maybe they're really pushing you or then making your life miserable or just being super difficult. So I feel like, there's some situation. I mean, it could be in a relationship, could be with a family member, it could be anything, where you sort of had to stand up. So you are going to be supported, and I guess a win. But I think I just feel like there's someone who really resents you, who really resents a situation and is just continuing to be a poor sport. Really, the bottom line is, I didn't get my way and it's your fault. There's no self-reflection that they were doing something wrong, and they got called out on it. It's yeah, just kind of a super immature energy is what I'm feeling. And I think you are eventually just gonna be like, I gotta get out of here. I can't work in the same department as this person. And it kind of sucks because you're like, you didn't do anything wrong. You were doing the right thing. You were following ethical standards. And maybe they're not doing anything blatant. They're sneaky about this, how they're behaving. But I think you're at this month, you're like, I gotta leave. I gotta walk away. And it was upset. I mean, there's again a lot of sleepless nights, but at this point you're like, you know what? Can't control that person. All I can control is me. This atmosphere, he has me constantly sort of worried, he or she, the situation, worried and on edge, and I need balance and peace and calm in my life, and I can't do that with this person. So you're just like, I'm moving on. Like, I see this as being a little bit of a, I feel like all the stress of the situation is in the past, and you're finally just like accepting it. Like, hey, I got to move on. I want to be somewhere that's where I can blossom and grow and be appreciated and encouraged and creative. And where I've been so far, that is not being allowed to happen because of this other person's immaturity and agenda. So good for you. I mean, it seems unfair, but I don't feel like you're stuck on that at all. I think you're just like, oh, like, thank goodness, like, time to move on. So I feel like that also is the true victory, is that you're just getting away from this person. You're like, no job, no relationship is worth catering to someone who makes everything about them. And it brings this balance back into your life that's been missing, and you just are feeling like so refreshed. I had worked somewhere for 7 years, and most of it I really, really liked, but the management was pretty dysfunctional, and they just couldn't seem to get their act together, and there was no career path. So I did end up leaving. It'll be a year in the middle of November, actually. I have not been sick once. I all of a sudden realized, like, in the spring, I'm like, I haven't had a cold. I haven't had anything. Like, so it was really interesting because I didn't think that it was doing this to me. I mean, it was annoying because there was a person in that job that was just like, just very sort of passive aggressive and manipulative. And they were just always like behind the scenes putting up roadblocks. I can't even explain it. It was just like, what, can we just like fix things? Or I mean, it was just like, I think it was a control thing. And again, I left, and I guess I didn't realize how much it was affecting me. And then once I left, it was like, wow, like all of that crap. I mean, I think it was affecting me physically. So it may be affecting you more than you realize. But you're moving on. You're moving on. You're moving on with excitement and enthusiasm. Some of you may be like, I'm going back to work. I'm not sorry. I'm going back to school. I'm going to switch careers completely, because maybe the career you're in tends to, and this is true, tends to draw a certain type of person, of sort of competitiveness, and you're like, it's just not what I thought, and I just don't, it's not in me. Like, I maybe used to find exciting sales or something where it was very competitive and you had quotas and it felt really, motivating, and now you're just like, I'm over that. Like, like, I'm in a different place now, and that's just not what I want anymore. And then having the courage to be like, is it worth starting over my health and well-being? Yes, it is, especially if you found something you really, really love, or you're just like, this interests me. I want to give this a try. You may not even truly know. And just like any relationship, a job, you never really know if it's going to work out till you're in it, right? You just can't. There are too many dynamics with different people, and to really 100% confident that it's going to be all that you hope for. If you're in a relationship where you're constantly feeling, or even I mean, even if 70% of the time it seems good, but there's always that 30%, that unknown, that you never know when they're going to be just difficult for seemingly no reason, just to exert their control or draw attention to themselves. That 70%, 30% bad can really make things really, really bad. And if the bad is bad enough, it doesn't, if you're up like this about anything, it's time to kick it to the curb and move on. That's sort of the underlying theme here. And then you're going to have victory, and you're going to have balance, and you're going to be creative again, and have the space and the harmony that you need to be healthy and creative and productive. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a really wonderful November. Take care.